Let's get started. I want to start standing. Okay, so you know what, I don't think we're going to use the weights for the first little section, but have them just out of your way so you're not tripping on them, but that if, you know, you decide to use them, you don't have to go too far. And then just reach up. And we'll just start with a nice tricep stretch. So, sorry. Increase the volume a little bit. You know what? I'm going to move the computer closer to the phone. And I'm also going to do this. All right, let me know how that is. Nice relaxed knees, tall out from the top of the head, little side bend. Not pulling too much on the arms, letting the ribs open. And then dropping one arm, reaching the other one overhead, just taking into a nice side bend. And you're going to come all the way up into a classic shoulder stretch. Take that into a little rotation away or into the stretch, I guess. And then hands are going to come to your knees. I'm just going to spin sideways here. You're going to press into a nice flexed spine. So we're just doing some standing cat-cows. And then ripple through, arching. And then gather those low abdominals as you flex, dropping the head, lifting through the back of the ribs and waist. And then reverse it. And one more. Nice. Breath out. And reverse. Standing up tall, let's just go right away to the side. So tricep. Feel that nice opening in the back of the arm into the armpit. Increase it a little bit by opening the ribs. Don't really want any additional tension in the shoulder, right? So we're just not pulling too hard on the arm, thinking more about the spine with the side bend. And then just increase that kind of arc over with the spine as you reach into the side bend, letting this bottom arm and shoulder drop. And then come on up. Little shoulder stretch. Take it into your little rotation into the stretch. Supporting the spine with the abs. So just finding a bit of support, making sure those knees are relaxed. And then release. We'll just do 3 of those standing cat stretches again. So little flexion, moving a little faster, and extension. And draw it up. Coordinate it with your breath. Last one. Good. And then standing up tall, we're going to go right into some classic squats. Down and up. Down and up. Nice and slow to start. Warming the legs up. Making sure the knees are happy. So pick a range of motion that feels okay for the beginning of class. You have 4. My arms are just countering my hips. So I'm trying to send my hips back and just reach the arms forward so you don't feel like you're going to fall. Okay, last one. You're going to go down halfway and just take your right foot or your left. It doesn't matter because we'll do one right after the other. Just remember what leg you are using. The leg that's moving. Tap for 5, 4, 3, 2. Stepping wide. Little external rotation. Down and up here. 1, 2. I'm only externally rotating because it feels more comfortable in the hips. So you don't have to, is what I'm saying. 5 more. Feeling that little inner thigh stretch if you do have the external rotation. second. It's just getting a bit loud, so hold here. Take yourself into a little side bend to the right or towards the leg that moved. Take the other arm up. Look up if you'd like. Take it into a side bend. More over to that side. Reach, reach, reach. Come on up, straighten the legs. We'll go right away to the other side. I just saw someone wrote a message, so I'm going to check it in 1 second. Up and over. And then standing up, turn the toes in, fold over your legs. Hang out there for a moment. Here we are, shift a little bit side to side. Let the head go. Bend your knees. And this time we're going to walk out into a nice plank position before we go to the other side. Just find your easy movement here. And then find stillness. And we step the right leg wide, left leg wide, right leg narrow, left narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Always the right leading. And so start slow, and then we'll pick it up a bit. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. And then pick it up a tiny bit more for the last 4, 3, 2, 1. Please down. Shell stretch. Rock side to side a little bit. Shift forward again onto your hands. Lengthen back into that nice, gentle, just move my mind here, kind of plank exploration. Find it. Now, option to drop your knees if you need this. You're going to open your hand wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Full plank if you like. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Always the right leading. Little faster. Hello, shoulders. And then 4 more faster. 2, 3. And then knees down. Shell stretch. Tuck your toes, lift your hips right into your downward dog. Walk your feet. Widen the feet a little bit. Walk your hands back. Keep swaying. And then just slowly make your way to stand. Back into our narrow squats. So because we're a little bit warmer, you can find a deeper range if you like. Listening to your body. 5. 2. Good. Next one, you go halfway down and the other leg slips out to tap side. 2. 4 more. And then step side. Listen to myself. Choose that little bit of rotation if you like, down and up. You have 6 more. Good, 5. And this one will be your last one, 6. All the way up. Halfway down, we'll do that little heel bounce, so parallel feet, spin on the heels, externally rotated. In and out. 6 more. In. These guys are surprisingly tough. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Open. Straighten the legs for a moment. Drop down into your nice wide second position. Start to the other side, look up. We'll take it right away over into the side bend, and then come on up, tipping the other way, all the way over, and up, straighten the legs. We'll do that one more time. Look up, take it overhead, side bend, center, and then come on up, turn the legs parallel, fold over wide legs. Add your little shifts, let those hamstrings open. If you need props under your hands to make this a little less dramatic, a stretch, please give yourself anything, books, any kind of box, so anything to give you support through your spine so you're not stressing your hamstrings out. And then you'll walk forward, nice and easy. Find that gentle movement in plank. Notice that spot where you feel the support in your low abs, hopefully. And then we'll lead with the left. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. First four, nice and slow. Good, and then the next one, you can speed it up a tiny bit. 2 more, and then for the last 4, let's go as fast as you can. Open, open, and close, close. 2 more. Drop the knees. Take a shell stretch. Shift yourself forward again. Find your plank. Find that spot. You can drop the knees if you'd like. Slowly tapping the up. Oh, sorry. That was for later. We're gonna step wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. 2 more. A little bit faster. And then for the last few, just a little faster. 1 more. Drop the knees. Oh, I don't know if it's the heat or if it's just a lot more work. But walk your hands to one side of the mat, sit into the hip, the opposite hip. And then walk your hands to the other side of the mat, sitting into the opposite hip. Come on out onto hands and knees, tuck your toes, we'll lift the hips right back into that downward dog, walking through the feet. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Add movement if you like. And slowly roll all the way up. So we're gonna do this little around the world lunge series. All I'm going to say at the beginning is that when you step forward, both the knees bend, and when you step back, both the knees bend. When we're out on the diagonal or side, the leg you're moving away from stays straight. Sounds more complicated than it is. So just stepping forward, step back together. We're going to go about to, between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and back. Straight out to 3, back, leaving this leg straight, and then reverse lunge, both knees bend. Repeat. We go forward, together, out in that diagonal front, straight to the side, out in a diagonal back, and then reverse. Again, forward, together, diagonal front, side, diagonal back, reverse. Couple more. Front. Diagonal back. Reverse. Let's do 2 more rounds. Front. Diagonal front. Side. Diagonal back. Reverse. This one will be our last one. Front. So this one stays straight on those diagonal and side lunges. And then hold here for a moment, so we're in a nice deep reverse lunge. Come a bit closer and just pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're gonna step together. We're gonna tap again. We go side. Oh no, we'll go front. Yeah, let's do the same pattern, just to keep it simple. Front, diagonal front, side, diagonal back. Reverse, we're gonna add diagonal to the opposite corner. Repeat, front, diagonal front, side, diagonal back. Reverse, one extra. 2 more. Nice and stable in this supporting leg. It stays, if possible, the same amount of bend. Keep going. Good, you're gonna repeat it until we get to that additional little diagonal back here, and then we're gonna pulse here. 10, 8. So we're in this little curtsy lunge. My back leg is just off to my back left corner. So this is a bit confusing if we're not mirroring each other. Okay? Come back center. Let's straighten the leg for a moment. And then straighten. And bend, so this foot is off the ground. Straighten. And bend one more time. Straighten. Come back into that bend position. Keep the foot off the ground. Reach it forward. Draw a half circle all the way around. Draw a half circle all the way back. I'm just going to shift my angle here. Half circle all the way back. And back to the front. 2 more. Lots of stability for ankle and hip. Take a break when you need. 1 more. All the way back, and then return to the front. Standing up tall. Let's just do a nice spine stretch forward at the bottom of your mat. Hang over your legs. Your feet can be narrow or wide, whatever feels good. You're going to walk out into your plank. Find the plank position. Hang out here for a moment. And this time you're going to drop your knees down into your 4-point kneel. And we're going to start with a little swing prep. So it's right arm, left leg slides out and up. And then return. Left arm, right leg, out and up. Return. So finding oblique support so that the hips and shoulders aren't deviating too much from their neutral place. 1 more. We're going to lengthen right arm, left leg away. And pause. And then I'm just going to spin here. You're going to open arm and leg a little bit on that diagonal, just until you feel the obliques grab, and then return. Or I should say gather. And return. And open. 2 more. Open. And last one. Return back to your midline, and then bring the hand and knee back center. Just shift the hips side to side a few times. Find center. We're going to do the same thing other side. Left arm, right leg slides out. I'm going to maybe go this way. It's probably better. Open arm and leg a little bit to the side, and bring it center. Open. 3 more. 2 more. Feel those oblique support. There's definitely some grab in the hip too. Last one. Come back center. Bring the hands and knee down and shift side to side. We're going to thread the needle with the leg. So let's start with right arm, left leg slides out. Right arm opens to the side. Little dive. Leg stays up the whole time. Return. Hard. Sweep the arm under. And back. Sweep it under. And back. You have 2 more. in there. Last one. Good. Find center. Shift the hips side to side. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's slide right leg, left arm out. The leg stays put, nice and long from sternum to pubic bone. Eyes are just on the ground, slightly in front of you. Arm to the side, sweep it under. So you can take the challenge down a bit by keeping your eyes to the floor in front of you, or you can add challenge by taking them with you. 3 more. Push the floor away with this supporting arm. So when you're thinking about that shoulder too. Last one. Good. Come back down. This time you go right away back into the plank. Walk it out a little bit. Hips are gonna lift. Hands walk back to your feet. Bend your knees. Slowly make your way to stand. Okay, we have all that standing leg work to do on the other side. So just catch your breath for a minute. Straight time to have a water if you need. So remember, when you step forward and when we step back, both knees bend. When we do this diagonal front, diagonal side, and diagonal back movement, you're stepping away from a straight leg. All right, let's give it a shot. Front, diagonal front, straight leg. Straight to the side. Now diagonal back. Straight behind. Front. Diagonal front. Straight to the side. Diagonal back. And straight back. Again. Forward. Side. Diagonal back. You're going to do about 3 more rounds of this. Front. Really push off of that foot. It gives it more of a cardio effect. Also, I think it's easier to find your balance when you come back center. That's just what I'm feeling. Diagonal back. Reverse. I think this is the last one. Diagonal forward. Straight to the side. Diagonal back. Reverse. Come on up. Bend through the standing knee. Tapping. Forward. Diagonal front. Side. Diagonal back. Oh, reverse. And then that little extra tag at the end. Front. Diagonal front. Side. Diagonal back. Straight back. A little bit of an extra. Front. Side. Back. Front. Side. Back. 2 more. Keeping that nice stable bend in the standing leg. Last one. Front. Diagonal front. Side. Diagonal back. Back. And, oh, and I just realized, I'm sorry. Step back. Pulse. So we're going to do, this is going to be a little bit more intense. We're going to do our pulses here, and then we're going to do our pulses on the diagonal because I forgot. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, standing up. Shift your foot just off to that back diagonal. As you break, drop down the pulse. 3, 5, 7, 9, and then standing all the way up. Keeping this leg off the ground, just find that little bend in the standing leg and straight. Little bend, straight. 2 more bends. And last one. Find that nice bend. It doesn't have to be as deep. You're going to reach the toe forward, and then it makes that half circle to the back. Half circle to the front. 3 more. Let your body adjust. Let your arms move. Just to be able to keep your balance. And again. And you have one more. And finish all the way front. Standing up tall. Shake out the leg a little bit. Nice spine stretch forward, rolling all the way down. Ah, that feels good. Let the hips stretch. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Walk yourself forward. Find your plank. Walk the plank out a little bit. And then these are going to come down. So I want to repeat what we did before, but of course we're going to add a few things. So we're going to start with that nice gentle slide, one arm and leg out. So good for lengthening the spine, especially that upper back. I can get a bit curved forward because we spend a lot of time today there. Good, eyes just slightly diagonally down, about a foot away from your fingertips. Let's finish off one more each side. And then you're gonna do 4 push-ups. So I'm gonna do mine with my elbows in. We're gonna alternate elbows in and elbows wide. So this is 4 of one of those positions. 3. I hope that makes sense. 4. Good, walk your knees back underneath your hips if they moved. Slide right arm, left leg. Open, close. Open, close. 2 more. Open. Press into the floor with that supporting arm. And then return hand and knee. Please take a break if your wrists have had it. Just circle them out and join us when you can. Other arm, other leg. I know it's a lot on the wrists. Open and close. So my leg is just slightly moving about 2 or 3 feet away from my midline. 1 more. Good, come on back in. I'm gonna keep my knees down for these push-ups. You don't have to. Choose the other position. So if you did elbows wide, try elbows narrow. 4 push-ups. 2. 3. 4. Bring your knees back underneath you. Let's everybody just circle the wrists out a little bit. Give them a break. Because we have our thread the needle next. So, slide right arm, left leg. Leave the leg where it is, open the arm to the side, and then dive it underneath and back. 5 of these. Under and open. Under. 2 more. Press into the floor with that left hand. Feel that support gather in the shoulder. Good, I think that was 2 more. Add 1 if I miscounted. Hand down, knee down. Let's go right away other side. Arm straight to the side. So really reach the toe of that leg that's in the air away from you. It tells your brain where it is in space, and I think it helps with balance. 2. 3. Think of kind of laying your ear down. 4. Last one. Good. Hand and knee down. Let's go with the first version you did. So I'm going to do elbows narrow. Again, you can lift your knees. 4. 3. 2. 1. You have a shell stretch. Let's keep knees together. If that's okay with your back. And then just to make it even, shift forward. We're going to do last set of 4 with my elbows open or yours narrow, depending on your pattern. 2 more. Right back into your shell stretch. Slide forward. So let's actually have one of your weight just placed in front of you. And you're going to slide forward onto your forearms here. Classic forearm plank. You're gonna add a little bit of movement here too until you find your position. Drop the hips down a little bit, reach sternum forward. Make sure that low back is supported. And then just adjust into a side plank on your forearm. Here. Pause here for a moment longer. Arm comes down to the hip. You draw a half circle up over your head and then down to the hip. 3 more times, half circle. All the way down. 2 more. Last one. Drop the bottom knee down. I'm just going to come down for a second and give myself some padding. And then grab your weight. So let's keep the bottom knee down to the mat. You're going to lift the weight and the hips up at the same time, and then slowly lower it all the way down. Lift everything up. Slowly lower it down. Lift it up. Slowly lower. 2 more. You're going to lift it up and pause. Actually finding that I might drop my weight. So yeah, weights are always optional. And we're going to do thread the needle here. And up. And you have 3 more. 1, 2, and nice. Lower yourself down all the way on your side. I'm just going to adjust my mat a little bit. Let's get rid of these comments here so I can see a bit better. I'm going to move back. We're going to do some spinal rotation. Keep one of your weights in front. So just a nice little break. Sweep the arm down to the hip and open, and then up overhead as you return. Don't think too hard about it. Just let the arm open and move in a range that feels good. And then let's reverse that pinwheel. So it's going to start up and over your head, and all the way down. And last one. And then we're going to do a little bit of arm work here. Slowing down here. Take your weight, bring it down to your hip. So it's the same movement we did in side plank. The arm stays in front of your face as it comes overhead, and then it returns to your hip. So my arm is slightly in front of my shoulder. Just watching that extreme range if you have it in the shoulder. You really don't want to bring it behind your ear. So it feels a bit harder because you're not balancing the weight over the joint. I think it's safer that way. Feels safer anyway. You have 3 more. 2, 3. Bring the arm straight up to the ceiling. Bring it forward and straight up. Forward. Feel those obliques supporting the weight dropping away from that balanced position where the weight will now balance over the shoulder, but try not to let it drift behind you, out of your peripheral vision. Let's do 4 more. 2 more. And then bend the elbow, and we're pressing the arm overhead again, slightly forward of your face, and bend in. Press, bend in. 3 more. Press. 2. And 1. Good, place the weight down. Let's just do 1 more nice rotation. Let's pause in this rotation. Take a breath in. And then come on back onto your side. You're going to come back up into your side plank with the bottom knee dropped with your weight. I want to repeat a few of these exercises here. 3, 4, 5. Reach the arms straight up over your shoulder. Try to keep the hips up, down and up. Same as the same range you did, we're just not supported by the mat. 3 more. We're doing a smaller amount. 2 more. Last one. Down to your hip and then up and over your head, just keeping it forward of the crown of your head. 2 more. Or sorry, 3 more so that it's 5. Now 2. And last one. And then just place the weight down. You're going to rotate back into a forearm plank. Shift around a little bit. Good. Pause in the forearm plank. Let's step right leg wide, wide. Now just 4 of these, leading with the right foot always. Right, left. And last one, let's go forward with the left foot. Left. 2, 3, and last one, 4. Drop the knees. Shell stretch. Add your breath and just a little movement if you need that for your back. Roll yourself up to sit on your heels. And I'm just going to switch around to the other side. And we're going to start with those spinal rotations. So the arm's going to go down to your hip and open away. And then up and over your head as you roll back. And again. And then reverse it. So up and over your head. And one more. And then come on up onto your forearm. See, I knew I was going to forget the order, but anyway, we'll get everything we did on the other side in. Don't worry. Up into your side plank. Pause. Hand goes down to the hip and up and over your head. Down. Up and over. 3 more. 2. And 1. Drop the bottom knee. Come on down and grab your weight. So lift up in one piece. The bottom knee will stay on the ground. Slowly lower. Lifting up. Slow. Couple more. Straight up nice and fast. Let those obliques and shoulder stability lower you down. Feel a little bit in that glute med helping lift, and then slowly coming down. So we're not just relying on the shoulder. One more. And lower all the way down. Lift all the way up, and then we're going to do that thread. Good, 3 more. 2. And 3. And then lower all the way down to the ground. I know we did our spinal rotations a bit early, but let's just do one more to give your shoulder a break before we do that arm work. So just sweep the arm down and open. Actually, I don't mind what you do with your arm. Just find a range that can let it go. And then come back on your side and grab your weight. Bring the weight down to the hip. It goes up and over, half moon, all the way back. Wow, one side is so different than the other. Just reminding you to keep that forward of your face position so we're not putting the shoulder in a vulnerable place. up and over. Good. Just let the abs help the support of that weight over your head. One more. Arm up to the ceiling, bring it forward, and lift. 2, 3, whew, that's tiring. 4, 2 more. And last one. Good, bend your elbow. We're gonna press overhead. So just a side lying shoulder press. Keep the weight a little forward. 3 more. 1, 2. Last one. Drop the weight or place it down. Give yourself that one lovely spinal rotation. You get to hang out here for a bit longer. Couple breaths. Roll onto your side. Pop yourself up onto your forearm again. Here we go. Weight is optional if your shoulder has had it. So keep the bottom leg down. Reach the top arm up, down to your hip and overhead for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Arm up to the ceiling when you finish this one, and then it drops forward. 3 more. Good, and then bend the elbow, bring it to your shoulder. Whew, hard. Press overhead for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, weight down, hips down. Throw the weight away. Let's go back into our forearm plank. I'm going to adjust the mat again here. Just walking through the feet a little bit, find your placement. And now you're going to just punch side to side. So I'm rolling a little bit from one forearm to the other. I'm going to turn and do it this way. So side to side. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. And take your shell stretch. Roll yourself up. Because now we get to go onto our back. So keep your weights kind of around you so you don't have to stand up to grab them. Laying all the way down. Take that moment to just let your back release into the floor. Hug your knees in. And grab your kneecaps. Release your arms so they're straight and the thighs hang away from you as much as possible. And then just move your legs around however you like. And then pause that. Find a little low ab support before you let the knees go. Deepen it into a little imprint and lift the feet up to tabletop. We're going to start this with your body on the floor. Nice classic toe taps just to start to warm up this pattern or this amount of work for those low abs. Make sure that as the thigh falls away, you're keeping that imprint, so that low back is staying long on the mat. Let's do 4, 3, 2, hands are going to go behind your head. Nod and curl, keep the toe taps going. My low back is still lengthened. There's a squeeze in that sternum. My head is kind of falling into my hands. So that is all happening, that upper back, the ab prep is happening from the upper back. 4, 2. Good, you're gonna take your hands to one knee. We're going into classic single leg stretch. 5, 7, 9. Hands behind the head. Twist towards the knee coming in. Nice and slow tempo, but a big movement with the legs. Really straightening the leg that's extending away. Good, take your hands to one leg. You don't have to straighten your legs all the way. We're doing scissors. 2 pulses, switch. 2 pulses, switch. You can also do this with a bent leg if you'd like. That feels better. You have 5, 4, 3, 2. Please put your head down if your neck has had it. Hands behind the head, right back into our oblique twist. You have 5, 3, then right into the single leg stretch. 6, 7, 8, 9, hands behind the head, toe taps. Nice and slow, that's the challenge. 2 more each side. Head down, body down, toe taps. Let the shoulders open and collarbones release. Hopefully this feels easier than it did maybe at the beginning. 1 more each side. Feet down. Just open the legs mat distance apart and just kind of swish them side to side. Leave the legs towards the screen in that wide position. Keep your eyes and chest up to the ceiling and just breathe here for a moment. And check. And then switch sides so that it flops to the other direction. Breathing into that lower body twist. And then knees up to the ceiling and grab your waist for a moment. Bring your feet back underneath your sit bones so they're quite narrow, maybe 2 or 3 inches apart. And then arms up to the ceiling. You're going to roll the pelvis up in a nice hip roll, so you're in this position. And then as you lower the hips, you're going to open your arms wide to the side, and then lift everything up. Open the arms wide, drop the hips, and then bring them back up together. And down. Lift. Lift. You're going to do one more like this. Keep the hips going, connect the weights. This time as you lower the hips down, arms reach overhead, and lift back up. Overhead, lift back up. Letting the ribcage move up and down with the pelvis. We are trying to hold on to neutral curves of the spine. We didn't really talk very much about that, but feel like if you're arching a lot through those low ribs, to relax the ribs a bit and let them travel down more to the mat. It's just a tendency of mine. Pause here. Let's combine the 2 movements of the arms. Open the arms, drop the hips. Connect them over the chest, overhead, lift back up. Open, and overhead. Open, overhead. You have 4 more of that pattern. So everything drops at the same time and listens. You have 2 more. And last one. Good. Open the arms so that they're shoulder distance apart, and then roll down and take your time. Just place the weights down by your side. Deepen into that imprint again. Legs come back up into tabletop. So the only change is just going to be the speed. So we're gonna move a little bit faster. We may do a few more reps, but we're just gonna go through the same, 4 exercises, and then reverse the order. So just some toe taps, keeping that nice imprinted low back. Hands behind your head, nod and curl. Keep going. Just watching your form, making sure that your back is happy with everything you're doing. Good, let's go right into the classic single leg stretch. Just a little bit faster. 5, 4, 3. Hands behind your head. Keep that pace, little twist. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. Scissors. We'll slow this one down a bit. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. You can always lower your head if you need to. 4, 3, 2, and last one each side. Right back into that quick oblique twist. 10, 9. Right back into your single leg stretch. 10, 9. Good, back into your ab prep with your toe taps, nice and fluid. Make sure it's a speed that you can control that imprint. Lower your head down, keep your legs going. For 8, 7. 3, 2, 1, both feet to the ground. Let's just do this little hip lift movement again. Arms up to the ceiling. Roll the spine up into that nice hip roll. Make sure the feet are about that 2 or 3 inches apart so inner thighs are really involved. Drop the hips, open the arms. We're going to go right away into the pattern we did. So connecting them over the sternum, they go overhead. Open the arms. Overhead. Open. Overhead. You have 5 more of the pattern. 4. 3. 2. This will be your last one. Open and close. Separate the weights. Take a big breath in. Roll down through the spine. Connect the weights again. And we're just going to do some triceps. So I want the elbows to be as close to over the shoulders as possible for this one. The weights may be kind of close to your forehead, so watch that. It's easy to knock yourself in the head. And then the change here, I'm going to slide down a bit so you can see my upper body more. There. The change here is that you're just going to slide the upper arm slightly over your head. So now my biceps are close to my temples. And you're going to bend and stretch here with the arms slightly extended overhead. A lot more support required from that upper back. Keep those low abs in mind. For 4, 3, 2, and if you can, either keep this position of the arms or lower them slightly more overhead. So it's almost like we're doing that standing tricep exercise. You're on your back. So the weights are kind of over the crown of my head when I bend my elbows. So much more work here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the arms back up. Just place the weights down. You're going to hug your knees into your chest again. Rock side to side. Let that low back lengthen. Drop your legs over towards the screen. And we're just going to do that pinwheel movement. Open. Up and overhead to return. This time you're going to open and let yourself roll onto your back with the legs up. Roll onto the other side and we'll do the same thing. So down to the hip and open. full circle to start. Overhead back on your side. Down to the hip and open. Let this one roll you onto your other side. Down and up. It's a really nice back massage if you open yourself, really let your body be heavy, and do this with as little effort as possible. Moving one leg at a time, I think, is very important for letting your back relax. And then last one, open. And open and pause. Roll onto your back. Keep going all the way on your side. Come on up onto hands and knees for a moment. A few of those cat stretches, so gather everything up. And then reverse. One more time, gather it up. And reverse. Tuck the toes, lift your hips. Walk out this downward dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Just move around here a little bit, let the back release. Grab your elbows. And then slowly, on a count of 8, roll up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. I think that is it. Perfect. Thanks everyone for joining. I miss you all, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.